All right, so make sure you're paying attention because you guys have questions based off of this. Jonathan, stay focused. As summer week
Yes,
came,
sir.
what's up? Question? Yeah, just stay focused, buddy. As as summer wheat came ripe, so did I. Wheat is the plant that you get flour from. So as summer wheat came ripe, so did I. Born at home on the kitchen floor, Ma crouched, barefoot, bare-bottomed. What's barefoot, bare-bottomed an example of? Barefoot, bare-bottomed. There's actually two things here. Barefoot, bare-bottomed. What should you be noticing about that? What is that an example of? Barefoot, bare-bottomed. Anybody remember the type of figurative language it is? Barefoot, bare-bottomed.
Personification.
Not personification. There's something repeating. Actually, two things repeating. Barefoot, bare-bottomed. The fact that bare repeats is repetition. How about the barefoot, bare-bottomed? What else is happening? Starts with an A. Starts with an A. No one remembers that's alliteration. What's alliteration?
Repeating the same first word.
Yeah, the same, not word, sound. So the B sound repeating is alliteration. All right, so what's happening here on the kitchen floor? Kind of really important. What is happening on the kitchen floor? What is happening on the kitchen floor? As summer wheat came ripe, so did I, born at home on the kitchen floor. Ma crouched, barefoot, bare-bottomed, over the sweatboards because that's where Daddy said it would be best. What is happening on the kitchen floor?
Oh, they placed the baby on the floor.
They're not placing the baby. What are they doing with the baby? Something's happening with the baby. She is what? What is happening with the baby?
She's being born on the floor.
Yeah, she's being born on the floor. Exactly.
God.
Exactly, yeah. They're giving birth on the floor. I came too fast for the doctor, bawling as soon as Daddy wiped his hand around. Bawling means crying, so she's crying, obviously. Inside my mouth. To hear Ma tell it, I hollered myself red the day I was born. Red's the color I've stayed ever since. Daddy named me Billy Joe. He wanted a boy. Instead, he got a long-legged girl with a wide mouth and cheekbones like bicycle handles. What's that an example of? Cheekbones like bicycle handles.
A little, no, not relation. I forgot what it was.
You know what this is, Jonathan. I have
There's-
Emily.
It is a simile.
Yeah.
Good. Now, what does the father want? And he got something instead. What did the father want?
A boy.
Yeah, he wanted a boy, so he's not happy with the fact that this girl is a girl. He got a red-headed, freckle-faced, narrow-hipped girl with a fondness for apples, so she likes apples, and a hunger for playing fierce piano, so she likes playing the piano. So it's a little bit of similarities between this story and actually the story we just read. They both play piano. From the earliest I can remember, I've been restless. That means she can't sit still. In this little panhandle shack we call home. So again, if you live in a shack, what does that tell you?
They're broke.
Yeah, so she's got no money, right? So again, right before I even started reading this, I kind of told you like what the situation is for lots of people at this time. Always getting in Ma's way. So if she's always in Mother's way, what does that tell you else? What does that tell you about the house? Oh,
It's really small.
yeah, it's a small house. With my pointy elbows, my fidgety legs. By the summer I turned 9, Daddy had given up about having a boy. He tried making me do. So basically, what does that tell you? If he gave up on having a boy, he tried making me do. What does that mean? What does that tell you about the father? What is the father doing with her? He says, by the summer I turned 9, Daddy had given up about having a boy. He tried making me do. What does that mean?
Work.
Yeah, exactly. So he's basically treating her like a boy in her mind. I look just like him. I can handle myself most everywhere he puts me, even on the tractor. Though I don't like that much. Ma tried having other babies. It never seemed to go right, except with me. But this morning, Ma let on how she's expecting again. So what does that mean?
She's getting a new baby.
Yeah, exactly. She's pregnant. Other than the three of us, there's not much family to speak of. Daddy, the only boy Kelby left since Grandpa died from cancer, that ate up most of his skin, and Aunt Ellis, almost 14 years older than Daddy, living in Lubbock. Lubbock's another city in Texas, a ways south of here, and a whole world apart to hear Daddy tell it. And Ma, with only Uncle Great Uncle Floyd, old as ancient Indian bones, and mean as a rattler. What are these two examples of? Old as ancient Indian bones and mean as a rattler. What are those examples of? You should know this. What?
Simile?
Yeah, those are both simile. Does anyone here know what a rattler is? What is a rattler? Does anyone know that? What is a rattler? No one knows? Alright, I will show you. A rattler is a rattlesnake. Okay, let's look at the rattlesnake so we can see it. So if you've ever seen a rattlesnake, rattlesnakes are poisonous.
And you can customize and save with Liberty
So let's
Mutual.
see if we can just find one real quick.
Shocking, right?
Stand down.
Yeah. Ooh, Mandalorian. Alright, so
Snake right there.
let's just see where we find one. Just find it this way. Oof, I don't know what that is.
Boasting 13 of the world's 36.
So if you look at a rattlesnake, you can kind of sense them by the noise that they make. Just trying to find a spot where they're making that noise.
When they slither, they're capable of southwest, and one of the least toxic.
Yeah, so that weird, crazy noise is what makes a rattler. So basically, they make that noise to basically warn you that they're going to bite.
Believe it or not, of the 13 species of rattlesnake.
Let's go back so we can hear it again.
She's here in the southwest, and one of the.
Yeah, so that weird noise that's their tail rattling. So if they're saying that he's as mean as a rattler, what does that mean about Uncle Floyd?
He bites.
not that he bites. It means that he's obviously not a nice person, right? Rotting away in that room down in Dallas. So Uncle Floyd lives in Dallas, which is another city in Texas. I'll be nearly 14, just like Aunt Ellis was when Dad was born. By the time the baby comes, I wonder if Daddy will get his boy this time. Right, so she's basically giving a little bit of background about her life, the fact that her mom's expecting a baby. All right, so we're gonna read like 4 chapters. They're all real super short. Rabbit battles. Mr. Noble and Mr. Romney have a bet going as to who can kill the most rabbits. Have you guys ever touched a rabbit before? Who in here has ever touched a rabbit?
Yeah, that's what I bet.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird. The first time I touched a rabbit, you pick it up, they're super light. They feel like nothing. I was actually kind of shocked how like lightweight they were. I was almost afraid I was gonna like hurt it just by touching it. It all started at the rabbit drive last Monday over to Sturgis when Mr. Noble got himself worked up about the damage done to his crop by jacks. So jacks are actually short for a jackrabbit. So let's see a picture of a jackrabbit so we know what they're talking about. These are jackrabbits, right? It's like the rabbits that have like the big ears. So these two people want to kill rabbits. Why do they want to kill rabbits? Why do they want to kill rabbits?
Money?
Nope. They just said it. It all started at the rabbit drive last Monday over to Sturgis when Mr. Noble got himself worked up about the damage done to his crop by jacks. Why?
The rabbits ate his crop.
Yeah, exactly. The rabbits eat his crops. So rabbits are actually really bad for like crops and stuff. They would eat everything. Mr. Romney swore he'd had more rabbit trouble than anybody in Cimarron County. They pledged revenge on the rabbit population, wagering who could kill more. So these two are betting over who can kill the most rabbits. They ought to just shut up, betting on how many rabbits they can kill, honestly. So how does the girl feel about them killing rabbits? How does she feel?
She no like.
Yeah, she's not a fan, right? She's pissed. Grown men clubbing bunnies to death makes me sick to my stomach. I know rabbits eat what they shouldn't, um, especially this time of year when they could hop halfway to Liberal and still not find food. But Miss Freeland says if we keep plowing under the stuff they ought to be eating, what are they supposed to do? Mr. Noble and Mr. Romney came home from Sturgis Monday with 20 rabbits apiece. A tie. It should have stopped there, but Mr. Romney wasn't satisfied. He said Noble cheated. He brought in rabbits somebody else killed, and so the contest goes on. So what's the reason why the contest isn't over?
They both tied.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, they have the same amount of rabbits, and they're both angry, and the one guy says he cheated, so he's like, oh, we're going to keep doing this. Those men used to be friends. Now they can't be civil with each other. That means, like, nice. They scowl as they pass on the street. I'm scowling too, but scowling won't bring those rabbits back. They're all skinned and cooked and eaten by now. At least they didn't end up in Romney and Noble's cookpots. They went to families that needed the meat. Alright, so losing Livy. Livy Killian moved away. I didn't want her to go. We've been friends since first grade. The farewell party was Thursday night at Old Rock Schoolhouse. Livy had something to tease each of us about. Like Ray, sleeping through reading class, and Hillary, who was on her speed writing test, put an even ton of children instead of even 10. So this girl is like making fun of all of her friends before she leaves. So what did Hillary do wrong? What did Hillary do wrong?
Instead of writing 10, you said she wrote 10.
Yeah, so she spelled it wrong. Libby said goodbye to each of us separately. She gave me a picture she'd made of me sitting in front of a piano, wearing my straw hat and an halfway to my mouth. I handed Livy the memory book we'd all filled with our different slants. I couldn't get the muscles in my throat relaxed enough to tell her how much I miss her. Livy helped clean up her own party, wiping spilled lemonade, gathering sandwich crusts, sweeping cookie crumbs from the floor, while the rest of us went home to study for semester review. Um, sorry. Now Livy's gone west, out of the dust, on her way to California, where the wind takes a rest sometimes. So again, I gave you guys a little bit of background before. So why is this girl leaving? Why is Livy going to California? Why is Livy going to California? This is not in the story. It has to do with what I talked about before. What's going on in this area of Texas?
The Great Depression.
Well, the depression's everywhere, but this area has something specific that I went over.
A sandstorm or
Yeah,
something
like
that?
the dust storms. Yeah, so basically, there's no water, so nobody can grow crops, and obviously there's like dust everywhere because of it. Now let's see what she feels about her friend leaving. And I'm wondering what kind of friend I am, wanting my feet on that road to another place instead of Livy's. So what does she want? The girl, the narrator, Billy Joe. She's wishing for something. What is she wishing for?
She wants to leave instead of her friend.
Yeah, exactly right. She wants out. She's like, I've had enough of this. I'd rather be her. All right, and this is the last thing that we're going to look at for today, just this chapter, me and Mad Dog. Arlie Wanderdale, who teaches music once a week at our school, though Ma says he's no teacher at all, just a local song plugger. Arlie Wanderdale asked if I'd like to play piano solo at the Palace Theater on Wednesday night. I grinned, pleased to be asked, and said, that'd be all right. Right, so this guy just asked her if she wanted to play piano. I didn't know if Ma would let me. She's an old mule on the subject of my schooling. She says, you stay home on weeknights, Billy Joe. And mostly that's what I do. But Arlie Wanderdale said, the management asked me to bring them talent, Billy Joe, and I thought of you. Even before Mad Dog Craddock? I wondered. You and Mad Dog, Arlie Wanderdale said. That darned blue-eyed boy with his fine face and his smooth voice, twice as good as a plowboy has any right to be. So how does she feel about Mad Dog? How does she feel about Mad Dog? He said, darn that blue-eyed boy with his fine face and his smooth voice, twice as good as a plowboy has any right to be.
She doesn't like him?
Yeah, she doesn't like him. What's the reason why she doesn't like him?
He's too pretty.
It's actually the second part of that. So that's probably, she's a little bothered by that. But she's also bothered by what? Something else is going on there. What does it say after his beautiful?
He got to Arlie Wandel's whatever mind first.
Yeah. So why though? It has something to do with this, which is what? Oops, I just went crazy there. Hold on. Now I have to find it. It has to do with smooth voice, which means what? What is smooth
A
voice?
clean voice.
Yeah, which means he what? If he has a smooth voice, what does that tell you? Smooth voice. What does that tell you?
His voice is very precious.
Yes, he can sing very well. So she's basically just jealous. So the guy asks her if he wants to play the piano. She's like, okay. And she's like, you didn't think about this guy? And then he said, oh, yeah, both of you. So she's basically jealous that this kid can sing his heart out. Probably if we had a talent contest, he's better than her. I suspected Mad Dog had come first to Arlie Wanderdale's mind, but I didn't get too riled. That means upset. Not so riled that I couldn't say yes. All right, so we're going to stop here. We're going to go on to superlative.